This week on Michigan's High School Sports Show.
Great action from around the state, including a slugfest from the Diamond that would have made even Ernie Harwell's voice hoarse.
But that's not all. Softball, soccer, lacrosse, it's a full slate of spring sports from across the state.
State Champs is once again knocking it out of the park. It's long gone.
What's up, Michigan? It's time for your weekly dose of highlights from your home for high school sports state champs. I'm Genna Rose, and it was another busy week for the state champs cameras as we hit the road and avoid Mother Nature at times to bring you another great show. State Champs is presented by Lawrence Technological University. We want to see you here wearing the Blue Devil colors at the collegiate level. If you feel you haven't been getting the attention you deserve in your sport, recruit yourself at LTUathletics.com.
I'm Lorne Plant, and besides another package of amazing highlights, Trenton head coach Todd Zalka will join me to talk baseball, and Donnie Dreyer has another update in our Total Softball Player of the Year race. The MHSAA Minute coming your way too.
How about we start off with a baseball game that became an instant classic? We're swinging for the fences as we get into this week's high school highlights.
I'm Ryan Slocum, and we begin with the action from Monday afternoon as the Woodhaven Warriors welcome the Shamrocks from Detroit Catholic Central. Woodhaven coming in at 6-1 on the season, bottom of the second. The senior, Ryan Shapaniak, rips it to right center for the stand-up double. Zach Phillips comes hustling around. He gets to third on the play. Next batter, Drew Thorning here with the blooper that allows Phillips to score. Woodhaven led it 5-0 after 2 innings. More from the Warriors in the third with a runner on first. This is the junior Raymond Perez taking this offering deep and over the wall in left center for the 2-run homer. Woodhaven now up by 7. The bat still cooking for the Warriors. Philip Miller goes up the middle for the base knock, scoring Joe Henniger. Woodhaven was up 9-0 after 3, but the Catholic Central offense wakes up in the fourth. The sophomore Trey Cassidy takes it deep. That one is gone for his first career varsity home run, and it gets the Shamrocks on the board. Next up, the junior Connor Aplegian, who sends a shot to left center. And it seems like the jet stream carried that one over the fence. Detroit Catholic Central now down 9-2. And like DJ Khaled, how about another one? The senior Nick Zappia with the blast. It goes over the wall in left center. That is back-to-back-to-back jacks. And it is now a 9-3 contest. And they're not done. Couple of batters later, the senior Jacob Pelosi gets in on the home run parade with this 2-run moonshot that hits off the scoreboard. Detroit Catholic Central making it interesting. We now have a 9-5 ball game. And it was more of the same in the fifth. It's Cassidy going the opposite way, and it goes up and over for his second homer of the day. Detroit Catholic Central now down 9-6. Then it's Zappia getting in on the fun once again. He belts this one over the fence for his second jack of the game. In total, 6 home runs for the Shamrocks. After the top of the fifth, CC down just a pair at 9-7. But the Warriors respond in the bottom half of the frame with some clutch 2-out hitting with the bases juiced. Josue Gutierrez laces it to the wall and left for the triple. Everyone's coming around. Austin Alter just beats the throw at the plate, and he is definitely fired up. Woodhaven back up 5 at 12-7.
Let's go! Let's go, baby!
The Shamrocks then had runners at the corners in the 6th. Guess what? It's not a home run. The KZoo College commit Josh Getz comes through with the infield single that scores Evan Hager. Detroit CC now down 12-10 after 6. Now to the final inning. Shamrocks looking to complete the comeback. The junior Peter Denick with the base hit. The tying runs now at first and second with no out. Woodhaven brought in the Michigan State-bound Shapaniak to close this one out, and he gets the job done, striking out the side, including Cassidy, to end it. Woodhaven hangs on to win the thriller. 12-10 is the final. The Warriors improve to 7-1 on the season.
Feels great having to come in there with, no outs, guys on first and second. We're only up by 2. You just kind of got to come in and do the job, and it's, it was a high-scoring game, and we prevailed at the end, so that's all that really matters.
They competed every single inning, and that's what you want. Games are going to have ebbs and flows, and they definitely had the momentum there for a couple innings in the middle of the game, and our kids responded. Like I said, they never gave up, and they continued to score runs and make plays. That's what you want.
I'm Chuck Pellerito coming to you from Kiteman Row as the Warren Mott Marauders were at home taking on a visiting Lamphere Rams team in the first game of a doubleheader. Clean top half of the inning for Mott and runners on the corners with nobody down. Logan Ramsey swings at the first offering, a single to right center. That scores Colin Gaddy, courtesy running for catcher Alex McLennan. Next batter, Ashton Dawson up and Braden Abbott breaks for third. Ball gets past the third baseman. Abbott pops up, trots home, bringing Mott up 2. Runners back on the corners with 2 down. Jaden Hardiman delivers. A base knock to center field scores Ramsey and the Marauders out to an early 3-0 lead. Lamphere starting to chip away. Costly walk and pass ball moves Noah Hurst to second base. Jake Malik at the plate. Take the outside pitch and drills it over the right fielder's head. That scores Hurst easily from second, but that's all they would get in the inning. Defense started to step it up for the Rams too. Bottom 2, Abbott at the dish. Ground ball. Nice sliding stop from Hurst. It goes 6-4-3 for the inning-ending double play. And it wasn't just the Rams. Mott's catcher McLennan with a perfect throw to cut down the attempted steal of second. Top of the 4th, leadoff single for Lamphere and Hurst coming through with a big at-bat. Splits the outfielders to bring in Nick Kristich all the way from first base. Hurst ends up on second with a stand-up double. Hurst was thrown out of the plate, but Malik moved up to second, and Drew Webster would pick him up. Big single up the middle is enough to bring Malik home, and we had a tie ball game in the 4th inning. That would hold for another inning until top of the order doing it again for Mott. McLennan standing on second, and Ramsey coming through again. Finds another gap in right center, breaking the tie as McLennan comes home. And then Lamphere would turn on the heat. Bases loaded, 1 down and 1 already in for Noah Atherholt. Ground ball past second baseman, 1 run in. Hurst comes around to score. Rams took a 6-4 lead. And they added on another 5 runs in the top half of the 7th. Aiden McGinnis would go the distance for Lamphere on the hill. Ending the game with a strikeout of Ramsey, one of his 8 on the day, as the Rams win Game 1, 11-4 over Warren Mott.
Get a second one right now, family. Here's 1, 2, 3, family! Go get it.
I'm Dylan Morello, and we head to Sterling Heights for the game between the Western International Cowboys and the Stevenson Titans. Both teams head into this game with 5 wins on the early season. It was a pitcher's duel early on. Anthony Brohl on the mound for the Titans. He gets Abel Gutierrez to swing and miss at the high fastball for the strike 3 in the first. Hector Hymas now pitching for Detroit Western, and he makes it look easy, getting Ty Jenkins to swing and miss at the end of the 2nd inning. After 5 scoreless innings, we head to the 6th. Bases loaded here for the Cowboys. Hymas hits it to second. Titans turn 2 for the double play, but Tristan Strong goes in to score for the Cowboys, adding another run. They led 2-0. Western trying to add some insurance here in the 7th inning with 2 runners in scoring position. Wander Rodriguez gets the base knock into left, sending both runners home. The Cowboys are now up 4-1. Next up, it will be Isaiah Villarreal gets a piece of the off-speed, and the ball will get by the Titans shortstop, sending Tristan Strong in to score. The Cowboys weren't done yet. Hymas hits a fly out to center. Christian Owens laying out for the catch, but Joaquin Martinez would tag up from third and score. Western up 7-1 heading into the bottom of the 7th. Sebastian Hymas looking to close it out for the Cowboys, but Stevenson trying to get a last inning rally. Owens hits a grounder to first. Hyman knocks it down and flips it over to first for the out, but Anthony DeLisi scores from third. But Hymas would settle in for the Cowboys. He catches Owen Runson looking for the called third strike, And that would do it for Western as they go on to win with a final score of 7-3 over Stevenson. Western moves to 6-2 on the season.
Welcome to our third week in the series we call In the Dugout, a weekly segment here on State Champs where we talk with a baseball head coach from the great state of Michigan. Joining me today in studio is the head coach at Trenton, but he's a man of many hats. Coach Todd Zalka is also the president of the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Second time here.
Yeah.
Next time I'll have a private lounge. I'll have my own jacket. It'll be great.
That's right. We'll have to get that three-timer club and grow up from there. Tell me, and for people who maybe would be curious, what's the primary responsibility as the head of the MHSBCA?
It's just to make sure that everything that the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association does goes smoothly. Kind of a manager of many different positions that are a part of the board, and just make sure that everything that we're doing is meeting the needs of our coaches and helping promote baseball around the state of Michigan.
Yeah, I had a great conversation with Adam Woolley last week, head coach at Madison Heights Lamphere, who does our podcast. And he was just talking, he's been doing this for a long time now. And just the fraternity, the great kind of group of guys that you have all over the state, coaching baseball.
Absolutely. I mean, we have a text message chain going. Right. And we're constantly throwing ideas out, asking questions. So it's kind of good that you have different people that are doing the same thing that you're doing. They're experiencing some of the successes, some of the failures that you are, and you've got people to bounce ideas off of and get things going in the right direction.
It is awesome that we have high school baseball going again. You mentioned that Trenton was going to be involved in a possible four-site tournament with 8 teams from around the state at the beginning of May. What's that all about?
It's something that we've been doing for a number of years now. The one on May 1st will be a memorial tournament for Bob Crescent, who was a 40-plus year coach at Trenton for the Trenton High School baseball program. Southgate will be a site host. Woodhaven will be a site host. Flat Rock will be a site host. Trenton will be a site host. And then we're bringing in teams like Lance Cruz, Frankenmuth, Utica Ford, and then we're still looking for a fourth team to bring in. Usually it's a 3-site, and it's just a round robin, but since the MHSAA came out with different guidelines for contacts, we had to change our format, and it'll be a double, we call it a switch site doubleheader.
All right, so this is an opportunity to talk to the people. So you say you're looking for a team. If a team is interested in playing, how should they reach out?
If you're interested in playing in our tournament on May 1st, go ahead and reach out to Coach Zalka, that's SZALKA @gmail.com.
All right. One of the best things about high school sports are rivalries. We do an entire series called State Champs Rivals. Now, Trenton and Woodhaven, just 5 miles apart. There's a heavily anticipated matchup next week featuring your Trojans and the Warriors. If it works out, 2 fireballers on the mound that are both going to Michigan State. It is not uncommon for a veritable plethora of scouts to be at your game when Micah Ottenbright is on the mound. Woodhaven's Ryan Shapaniak is another guy who throws in the 90s. Sounds like a great matchup.
Oh, it is. A lot of people don't know, back in, I think it was the late 60s, Trenton had the opportunity to acquire the land that is Woodhaven.
Oh, I did not know that.
And they did not do so at that time. And then maybe a few years later, Woodhaven's formed their own school district. So at that point in time, a natural rivalry was born. I'm a Woodhaven grad. I now teach in Trenton and live in Trenton, but I mean that rivalry is intermixed in between our communities, and we look forward to it every year.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of people out there. Should be great. In fact, we're looking at doing our In the Dugout next week, kind of around that game and that atmosphere. What do you like about your team this year?
Starts and ends with pitching, yeah. And we've got Mike Ottenbright, a phenomenal kid all around, work ethic off the charts, what he brings to the team, and what he does with the community. I mean, sometimes I'll go by fields over by my house and he'll be out working with some of the youth. That's what we want. Ricky Kidd, another one of our pitchers. Just the other day on Monday, Micah and Ricky combined for an 11-inning no-hitter over Wyandotte, which we won 5-0. Phenomenal game there. Hats off to Wyandotte. We've had some underclassmen, and I think everyone's going through this. They don't know what they're going to have because we were off for a year. they were freshmen and now they're juniors. So we've had a couple of juniors in Matt Cheatham and Brock Boudry who have really come through with the bat so far for us. And then our senior, Al Shahowski, is just a terror on the bases. So it's been an absolute joy to coach these guys so far.
And just speaking of absolute joy, just for these kids to get back and play again. I mean, I'm sure, they probably didn't even think it was real until you finally suited up and got on the diamond and went after it against somebody else.
Absolutely. It's kind of been difficult to see if that's the reason, or we got a brand new field.
That helps.
So it's, they were giddy from the get-go and ready to go.
I want to thank the president of the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association, Todd Zalka, for joining me today. It was Todd that really advocated for this 2-year partnership with state champs. We will be live streaming the Baseball All-Star Game this year, so we look forward to that. And for more high school baseball insight, go listen to the State Champs Extra Inning Podcast with Adam Woolley and Rob Mendyka. They had Juan Sanchez, the head coach at Detroit Western, on this week's show. And you can find it wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Google Play, it's all there. Thanks for coming in.
All right.
I'm Greg Wolzen at Brandon High School, where the Blackhawks were hosting a Flint Metro League matchup against the Linden Eagles, looking to stay unbeaten on the season. It doesn't take long for the Eagles to strike first. Just over a minute in, it's Haley Wasilewski with the corner kick. She doesn't need any help, putting it in herself to make it 1-0. Just about 3 minutes later, Wasilewski adds an assist, setting up Grace Bowen right in front of the goal. Up next for Linden, it's Melania Strauss. Her first shot is blocked, but she gets it right back and fires it right under the crossbar for another Eagles goal. Still in the first half, they add one more off another corner kick. The ball eventually ends up on the foot of Molly James, who comes through with another perfectly placed shot to make it 4-0 at the half. Moving to the second, it's Hannah Wasilewski with the penalty kick. She puts it just out of the reach of a diving Piper Kraft. The Blackhawks then get a PK of their own, Aubrey Hickmott with the shot, but it's stopped by Samantha Kosofsky. And the Eagles end the scoring just like they started it, off a corner kick with Molly James putting it in herself. Her second of the game makes it 6-0. That's the final as Linden improves to 4-0.
I'm Mike Erlitis. The band is all tuned up and ready for girls lacrosse action in the OAA. The Cougars from Stony Creek visiting the Rochester Adams Highlanders. The Cougars get on the board first. The pass from Sarah LaPrairie to Isabella Orlowski. She bobbles but recovers nicely for the goal. Stony Creek out to a 2-0 lead. Adams will respond back. Lindsay Kania working hard for this one. Great pivot through defenders to find the back of the cage. Highlanders down just 3-2. Stony starting to heat up as we wind down the first half. Great look by Sydney LaPrairie and a great finish by Sydney Ornstein. Sydney to Sydney as the Cougars score 4 unanswered goals to make it 7-2 as we hit the break. Adams looking to get back in this one. Lindsay Kania strikes again, scoring on the wraparound. But the Cougars kept their foot on the gas. LaPrairie's shot hits the crossbar, but Avery Sackdalen is there to put it home. Closing this one out is Sydney LaPrairie. This time, no crossbar, just all net as she puts in her 4th on the night. That would put an end to this one as Stony Creek bests Rochester Adams with a final score of 13-3.
State Champs, Michigan's high school sports show, is brought to you in part by Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine.
Hi, I'm Laura Ramus, and today on Game Changers, we're going to talk about training movements, not muscles. If you walk into most health clubs and gyms today, you will find a wide variety of exercise equipment to train muscles you probably don't even know you have. Focusing on one body part would be an effective exercise program if that's the way the human body was made to move. However, human motion is not meant to be isolated muscle contractions, but instead, the body is made to move continuously, with all muscles, joints moving together simultaneously in rhythm. Training movements has been shown to improve performance by increasing strength, coordination, balance, and also helping prevent injury. There are 7 basic movement patterns that are the foundation for most sports. Train these 7 movement patterns to improve your performance. Number 1, the squat. Going down to parallel, perform 10 to 12 repetitions. Number 2, the 3-dimensional lunge. Forward, to the side, and rotational. Switch and go opposite leg, forward, side, rotational. Repeat this through 10 times. Number 3, the hip hinge, one leg. Perform 10 reps on the left and 10 on the right. Number 4, the pull-up. Begin with doing 1 full repetition. Your goal is to do 10 repetitions. Number 5, the push-up. Make sure you perform good form. Try to do 10. If you're unable to, you can go into a knee position and perform like this. Number 6, the brace exercise, also known as the dead bug, strengthens the core. Number 7, rotational exercise. For more ways to enhance your performance, visit the experts at DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine.
Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Then go where the pros go. DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. For immediate care, call 313-910-9328 or visit dmc.org/gamechangers.
I'm Ryan Slocum at Flint's Atwood Stadium for a Saginaw Valley League girls soccer matchup between Midland and Powers Catholic. The Chargers led it 1-0 in the opening minute of the second half and looking to add to it. Callie Rohr fires it, but the shot is stopped by Maddie Scott. A couple of minutes later, it's the midfielder again. Rohr from nearly the same spot, and it's the same result. Scott with another save. It was still 1-0 with just over 20 minutes to play when Kennedy Iyer sends one from 35 yards out. The ball takes a big bounce over the keeper and sneaks across the line for the goal. That gives Powers a 2-0 lead. But it wouldn't stay that way for long. 2 minutes later, Lexi Rugseger fires a perfect ball just out of the keeper's reach. That puts the Chemics on the board and cuts the lead in half. It was still 2-1 with 3:30 to play. It's Rugseger with the shot from the right side. Lorne Revord is in front. She knocks it in to tie it up. And that's how this one would end. Flint Powers and Midland play to a 2-2 tie.
Dylan Morello here as we go to a boys lacrosse rivalry game between the Brother Rice Warriors and the Catholic Central Shamrocks. Both teams coming into this game with only 1 loss on the early season. Rice holds a 4-game winning streak against the Shamrocks. Brother Rice came into the first quarter on fire. A couple minutes in, Warriors working the ball around the net to sophomore Sam Klein, and he rips it by the goalie to put Rice up 1 early. Midway through the first, Warriors working the ball around, loose ball in front of the net. Senior Luke Dudley flicks it up in the air, finds the back of the net, Warriors up 2. 2 minutes left in the first, Warriors looking to add another goal in the period. Dudley down low, and he gets his second goal today. Brother Rice up 3-0 after the first. On to the second with a minute to go before half. Dudley working it behind the net once again, finds senior Zach Rivers in front, fakes it up high, and shoots it down low for the score. Brother Rice up 4 heading into the break. We pick things up after the break, Warriors picking up where they left off. Rivers gives it to the hot hand Dudley, and he slings it into the back of the net for the hat trick. About 30 seconds later, it would be the Warriors again. Dudley feeds it behind the net to sophomore Hunter Plonky. He runs by the pick, turns, and fires for the goal. More action from the Warriors in the third. Working it behind the net, they find junior Paulie Fortino out in front, and he bangs it down low. Warriors up 7. Brother Rice would go on to win big with a final score of 8-1 over Catholic Central. Warriors now hold a 5-game winning streak in this rivalry match.
I'm Mike Erlitis. The trophy as well as bragging rights on the line for the 2021 Powder Puff football game as the Mustangs of Marion take on the Vipers from Regina, looking for their 4th consecutive victory. The defending champs strike first with the passing game. QB captain Miranda No Mercy Nicholas finds the generator, Genna O'Brien, wide open for the TD. Regina up 7-0 after 1. The Vipers again threatening in the red zone. This time they get it done on the ground. Brooke Brown, they call her Touch Brown, and she lives up to her nickname as Regina's lead now increases to 14. We take you later in the quarter. Again, the Vipers with the ball in scoring position. The pitch to Bella O'Bell Beckham Pine. She finds pay dirt as Regina takes a commanding 21-0 lead as we head to the half. Marion looking to get back in it. The handoff to Coco, Go Loco Chanonis. She takes it 28 yards to the end zone as the Mustangs trail 24-7. Check out Kaylin the Shots Brown doing just that here. She goes 50 yards to finish this one out as Regina completes the 4-peat, defeating Marion in the Powder Puff by a final score of 31-7.
State Champs Michigan's High School Sports Show is brought to you in part by the Michigan Army National Guard, a proud partner of the MHSAA. Time now to take a look inside Lawrence Technological University Athletics. The ever-growing field of competitive gaming is continuing to take off at Lawrence Tech.
I'm really excited to bring Emilio on. He's a support player for League of Legends, and he's really passionate about making the team successful and being a part of something successful. And I think that that passion will show in his gameplay and amongst his growing teammates.
I first started playing League about 7 years ago with my friends, and they just weren't playing at the same mentality that I was playing. I wanted to get better and better at the game, and they were comfortable with just making the same mistakes over and over because it is, after all, just a game, but I wanted to be like a more competitive game. So then when I got here, I started seeing people playing at what started out as GG Leagues and is now more competitive than GG Leagues with CLOL. And I thought, maybe this is my chance to find people that also want to not make the same mistakes over and over again. Personally, I'm looking forward to growing as a player, playing against good people and seeing how I stack up against them. But I also am looking forward to seeing how the team grows, how it's going to look when I leave it versus how it started out, how it is right now. I was looking at universities that had a good game design program, and this university was among them. I started applying to universities, seeing which ones appealed to me more than others, and LTU just looked like the best choice. Coming here as an international, I thought it would be more difficult than it ended up being. The people here are very friendly. You meet people from all over the world, so you can find a place to fit into. And when it comes to playing, you don't need to have the same culture or the same background as people who play. You just need to play the same game, and everything will sort of fit together in how you play with how they play. If you're planning on coming to LTU, it's okay if you have an idea of what you want to do here, you did your research, and you come here with that goal in mind. But it's also okay if you don't have an idea of what you want to do specifically and you come here to experience. You can come here and learn everything about what you like doing, what you don't like doing. You maybe end up not choosing the path that you wanted to in the first place, but that is still perfectly fine. We come here to university to learn and to experience. With the gaming program in general, maybe you realize that you don't really like making games, and that will be fine. Yeah, the gaming program offers you programming skills or art skills in general. You can use those wherever you want.
Take your future into your hands. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.
Let's go, man, let's go!
I'm Greg Molson checking out some Flint Metro League baseball with Fenton at Holly. The Broncos come out swinging in the bottom of the first. Weston Sayud getting them started with the RBI single, driving in Christian Sells. Up next, it's Jacob Heald with the hot shot to second that gets through the infield and brings in Mason Yoder. Still in the first, Drew Hignite goes right back up the middle to bring in Sayud. Holly scoring 5 runs in the first. The Tigers finally come to life in the fourth. Gavin Diamond with the drive down the left field line. That brings in Colin Lawrence and Jake Durant to get Fenton on the board. Brett Jackman follows with a jack to right, just out of the reach of the diving right fielder. That brings in Diamond as the Tigers cut the lead to 1 at 5-4. And they take the lead in the sixth. Spencer Luck with the RBI single to bring in Connor Luck, giving Fenton its first lead of the game at 6-5. But the Broncos answer in the bottom of the inning. Nolan Jenkinson with the deep drive to left. Mason Clark rounding third to come home with the tying run. Then it's Christian Sells giving them the lead, bringing in 2 more. Holly scoring 4 times in the bottom of the sixth, and the Broncos beat Fenton 9-6.
Yeah, we're a good team. We don't give up. We just keep putting up runs, even when it matters. So, yeah, we just keep fighting.
I'm Lorne Plant, and we go to the west side of the state as it was the Battle of Muskegon. Reitz Puffer on the road to take on the Sailors from Mona Shores. Puffer trying to avoid a 3-game sweep at the hands of the Sailors. We pick things up top of the first. Reitz Puffer threatening with a runner on third. Adeb Williker smacks a double that brings home Jeff Boersma. That gave the Rockets a 1-0 lead. To the bottom of the third, game tied at 1. DAC Athlete of the Year finalist and Ferris State commit Brady Rose lays down the bunt. Bad throw to first allows Mason Brunworth to score. Sailors snatch a 2-1 lead. Still in the third, Mona Shores threatening once again. Diego Pena with the single. That scores Rose. They added another run to take a 4-1 lead. Back come the Rockets top half of the fifth. Brody Pinozzo with the line shot over the reach of the third baseman's glove. Boersma scores. Reitz Puffer only down a run. Let's go to the top of the sixth. Rockets with the bases full. Alex Johnson with the single to left. That scores Jeremy Archahai. Reitz Puffer added 2 more, led 8-4. Caleb Mitchelson went the distance for RP, striking out 5, including Pena here to end it. Reitz Puffer moves to 2-4 on the season as they beat Mona Shores 8-5 the final. Sailors fall to 6-3. State Champs, Michigan's high school sports show is brought to you in part by the Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Male and Female High School Athlete of the Year Awards, taking place June 7th.
I'm Chuck Pellerito, and we've got some highlights from the Catholic League on the diamond as the 4-0 Mercy Marlins were at home taking on a Regina Satellites team coming in at 5-1. We pick it up in the bottom of the second. Runners on second and third. Sabrina Shea hits a grounder to third, and it's just off the glove, and that brings in courtesy runner Maya Bortman to open up the scoring. Next batter, runners at the corners. Katie Kowalek drops down the sacrifice bunt perfectly. Regina tries the backdoor play at third, but Kat Burris comes in to score. It was a 2-0 game. Top 3, Regina with a runner on second. Mayuri hits a pop-up into the Bermuda Triangle. Short second and center field converge. Nobody able to make the catch, and Dankanix comes around to score, cutting the lead to 1. Bottom half of the inning, Marlins with a leadoff single and advance to second on a fielder's choice. Kendall Spivey comes up and she rips a line drive to the wall in left field, bringing in Gage Lambert. They would add 2 more runs on walks to take a 5-1 lead. Freshman Asia Barbado was rolling for mercy on the mound, striking out the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to rack up 9 strikeouts in the game so far. Bottom of the 6th, Grace Nito with leadoff walk, and the Miami, Ohio commit Maggie Murphy delivers. Big 2-run homer to center field. She's all smiles. She comes around third, up in the lead, 7-1. And in the 7th, Barbado would keep it rolling. After leadoff walk, she picks up her 15th strikeout and number 16. And then a fly ball to Lambert to end the game as Mercy takes this one 7-1 over Regina.
I'm Ryan Slocum. Trenton playing its first home game on its newly renovated field, complete with field turf on the infield. They played host to their rivals from Allen Park on Thursday afternoon, and the Trojanettes get the party started in the first. This is our total softball player of the year candidate, Lily Velamont, taking the offering deep, very deep, over the new scoreboard and left. It's a 2-run homer for the junior Northwestern commit. Trenton up 2-0 after the opening inning. Allen Park coming in at 4-1 early in the campaign. Top of the 3rd now. Runner at second for the Michigan commit. Maddie Ramey, the junior, smacks a base hit. Faith Heschke comes around to score. That ties it at 2. Jump to the 4th. Jaguars trailing 3-2 with a pair on. Mackenzie Badillo goes up the middle. Avery Garden and Molly Houle cross the dish. That puts AP up 4-3. And they were just getting started. The Jags capitalizing with runners in scoring position. This is Madison Houle dropping one into right center. That scores Heschke. Allen Park now up a 3 spot at 6-3. The next batter is the future Wolverine, Ramey, and she takes this one the opposite way for a 2-run double. Bailey McAllister and Houle both cross the plate. That puts the Jags in command on top 8-3. And they're still not done. Morgan Sizemore keeps the hit parade going, driving this pitch to left center. That brings Ramey home. It's a 7-run frame for the Jags. Allen Park led it 9-3. But don't count Trenton out just yet. Bottom 5, London Williams with the pop-up, and it drops into right. Velamont comes around from second and beats the tag at the plate. Trojanettes down 10-4, good buddy. But AP gets that run back in the 6th. It's Ramey once again from the window to the wall. That's good for a stand-up triple. She would later come in to score, putting the Jags back up 7 at 11-4. The Trojanettes claw back in the bottom of the 6th. The sophomore, Gracie Rickman, takes it to center for the base knock. That drives in Kendall Gerhardt. Then a couple of batters later, bases juiced for the cleanup hitter, Olivia Raymond. The senior gives this one a ride to center for a triple of her own. That clears the bases, and just like that, Trenton back in it, down just 3 at 11-8. But they could not cool the Allen Park bats. Top 7, it's the sophomore, Molly Houle, going deep, and bye-bye. The solo blast would ice it. Allen Park beats the rivals from Trenton 12-8 the final. The Jags improve to 5-1 on the season.
Feels really great. We really worked together as a team, and we came back from losing to Woodhaven, so we really came back and picked each other up.
Higher everyone. Welcome back to another update in our Total Softball Player of the Year race. My name is Lorne Plant, joined by Total Softball's Donnie Dreher. And we've been doing this for many years now. So excited to have this race going again after the pause last year. Our top 10 candidates are up and running. And boy, let me tell you, you guys have been voting. How do you do it? Go to our website, statechampsnetwork.com. And this will be a fluid race. Donnie, now that you've had a chance to process, you've seen some games, the numbers are starting to come in, and that's going to affect this race.
Yeah, the numbers are starting to come in, but we start off, Lauren, with, because we didn't have numbers from last year, you got the high-profile kids, and a lot of those in our top 10. Those are kids that are going to a lot of the Power 5 colleges. That's how it starts off. Now we're starting to see the numbers come in, and what you're going to see is some kids are going to put up some fantastic numbers, and they're going to push some of those high-profile kids off the top 10 list. That's at least what we're starting to see. And then as we get further on in the contest, what's going to take place, I think, is, we have top performance, kids that perform in high-profile games. That's 20% of winning this contest. And I think as we get near the end, as we start to play high-profile games, districts, regionals, quarters, the kids that perform in those games are probably going to be the ones that are in our top 4.
So it's going to be a really great race as we go on. Who are we talking about this week?
Talk about a couple kids, and we're going to be talking about eyes and feet. When we talk about eyes, we're Lily Valamont, a junior from Trenton. Lily is regarded as one of the top 10 2022s in the country. Now, there's lists out there that are subjective that have her in the top 10, but I'm telling you, it's not subjective. This kid is one of the top 10 kids in the country. Wow. And Lily is a power hitter, just an unbelievable player in every aspect. But when I talk about eyes, I want to talk about Lily Valamont because I've had a chance to work with her a little bit. When you give Lily instructions, her eyes stay glued on you. And she doesn't move her eyes off you until you're done talking, and then boom, she goes off and she does what you ask her to do. And that just tells me the kids that perform at a high level, because there's so many kids that want to play college softball, that they like the sport. I say you can't like it, you have to love the sport. It's 2 full-time jobs. It's 80 hours a week when you're a student athlete, and you're putting your 40 hours into softball. Lily Valamont loves softball. So not only is she very talented, but I predict she's going to have a fabulous college career when she's done with high school because of her focus and her love for the game. I will be at games, or I'll be at tournaments, and Lily is stuck. Her team's been done for 3 hours. She's still in her dirty uniform watching other teams play. She loves the sport. The eyes tell me she's going to have an incredible career.
All right. Who else?
Ellie Sealer. Now, Ellie Sealer is a left-handed thrower, left-handed hitter from Monroe. She is a senior committed to the University of Michigan. When you talk about outfielders, you think of cannon for an arm. You talk about speed. Ellie Sealer, I'm going to talk about feet. First, offensively, great offensively. She's got great speed. She can hit. She's more of a doubles, triples hitter. She can slap. She can lay down the bunch. So she's very effective. And then once she gets on base, she can steal bases. But what catches me when you watch the videos of Ellie Sealer or watch her live are her feet. Most kids, when a ball goes up, I'm just trained when a ball goes up, I don't watch the ball, I watch the feet. And what happens with normal outfielders, the ball goes up and they're still trying to gauge where the ball's at. And so their feet are very slow. Then once they're comfortable, they move. The first second and a half when a ball goes up, watch College Bound Jock's video of Ellie Sealer, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. She has what we call active feet. The ball goes up, and her feet just start moving. And she adjusts as she goes. So as soon as the ball goes up, she's sending a message to her feet. She's adjusting. I couldn't watch enough of watching her in the outfield. I've done this for years, and I can't remember anyone that's got active feet in the outfield like Ellie Sealer. And Bonnie at Michigan, who works at the outfielders, is going to absolutely love coaching this kid from a defensive perspective.
Nice. All right. So as you can see, a lot of talent that we have in the state. And again, it's so great to have softball back and flourishing here in the state of Michigan. Now, one of the great compliments that we have to our Player of the Year race is our new State Champs Swing Away podcast. So that is where Donnie and you mentioned College Bound Jocks, Brian Chittister gets in on the action. Genna Rose, kind of the glue holding it all together. She's a former college softball player herself. So what do you guys have and what are you talking about on this week's podcast?
We're going to talk a lot about the numbers that are coming in. So there's some kids that are not in the top 10 that are on our watch list that are putting up some incredible numbers. Kids that I predict very soon will be moving into the top 10. But we're going to talk about some of those numbers, and we're going to talk about some of the high-profile players that are on the watch list that maybe not initially on our top 10, but have great shots of getting there.
All right, it's a great listen. State Champs Swing Away podcast. You can find it super easy on Spreaker.com. Just search State Champs Sports. But again, just search State Champs Swing Away. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts. That's the update this week. Thanks, Donnie.
I'm Ryan Slocum in Lapeer, where the Lightning hosted Powers Catholic in a Saginaw Valley League softball matchup. No score in the top of the second. Runner at third for Monique Morst, who slaps one to short. Looks like an easy out, but the throw gets away. That allows Brooklyn Kidd to come home, giving the Chargers a 1-0 lead. The Lightning even it up in the next half inning. The pitch takes a high hop off the plate. Brooke Walton trots home, and we have a 1-1 ball game after 2. But it didn't stay that way for long. Top 3, Carson Hendrickson goes Metallica and rides the Lightning. The solo jack puts Powers back on top 2-1. Lapeer comes right back at him in the bottom of the frame. Paige Erla with the swinging bunt. She beats the throw to first. That allows Megan Alexander to hustle home, and they are tied again at 2 apiece. And they continue to trade blows in the fourth. Iris Stein lines one to shallow left. Peyton Ward scores. The Chargers move in front again at 3-2. And again, the lead doesn't last one inning. Heaven Withers slaps it off the second baseman. Walton hustles home from second. That makes it Lapeer 3, Powers 3 after 4. The Lightning threatening in the fifth. 2-1 for Bella Passy, who sends it back up the gut. Erla scores to give the home team their first lead, and they wouldn't give it up. Lapeer knocks off Powers 4-3 the final, with Riley Hoover striking out the side in the final frame to put it away.
State Champs Michigan's High School Sports Show is brought to you in part by the Michigan High School Athletic Association.
Now that all of our winter sports have been completed, I just want to take a minute and say thank you to everyone that had a part in making our winter seasons happen. Champions were crowned this winter in boys and girls skiing, boys and girls swimming and diving in the Upper Peninsula, and boys swimming and diving in the Lower Peninsula, ice hockey, boys and girls bowling, competitive cheer, gymnastics, team and individual wrestling, and we finished the winter season with girls and boys basketball. None of this would have been possible without the help and assistance of our coaches and student athletes, school administrators, athletic trainers, nurses, our medical community as a whole, including the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, our officials, bus drivers, cheerleaders, the thousands of volunteers, and the dedicated members of our media. And most important, our kids and parents in communities across our state. So for everyone here at the MHSAA, thank you. Our goal since August has been 3 seasons that all reach the finish line, and as it stands today, it's 2 down and 1 to go. For more information on spring sports in those tournaments, visit us at our website. That's MHSAA.com.
We love bringing you this show each and every week. If you dig the content, follow State Champs Michigan on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Give us a like and please share it so more people can check this out.
That's right, and check out our weekly podcast. Baseball and softball are several episodes in, and the lacrosse podcast finally off the ground. Check it out wherever you get your podcast.
And you know what they say, even a blind squirrel sometimes finds a nut. Lorne got lucky last week in our weekly Rochambeau, but that ends today.
Let's do this. Here we go.
All right.
Rochambeau. Rochambeau. Oh, 2 in a row.
State Champs Michigan's High School Sports Show is presented by Lawrence Technological University. LTU offers over 24 varsity sports for men and women, along with several dozen world-class undergraduate programs. Athletic and academic scholarships are available in all sports. Visit LTUathletics.com and recruit yourself. Also brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. The Michigan Army National Guard, a proud partner of the MHSAA. The Detroit Athletic Club Foundation's Male and Female High School Athlete of the Year Awards, taking place June 7th. Detroit Medical Center Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. Do you have a sports injury, or are you just looking to take your game to the next level? Go where the pros go. Visit dmc.org/gamechangers. And the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association, a proud partner of State Champs. For all things high school baseball coaching in Michigan, visit MHSBCA.org.